I'm here to tell you what I saw yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Why you should always just love whom you are. It does not matter the level where you are today. Embrace it. Embrace this. Why am I trying to say this is because many of us today are depressed because of what we are seeing either on social media, in the street, or either around people, the new people we see, or within our vicinity, or maybe our co-workers, what they say with their mouth, or our neighbors, our friends. My brother, many people are faking it. They are faking it, but guess what? It is better to do what? To live it and make it than to fake it until you make it. No. It is better you are living it to make it. You are living it for real to make it than faking it until you make it. You know what I'm saying? Because, there was something that I saw, is it not day before yesterday? It was yesterday, day before yesterday, that I wanted to post the video. I wanted to make this video, but due to I have a lot of list of video that I have already scheduled to post, that is why I was not opportune. But all glory be to God that I have this opportunity to release it now. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you, don't just dislike yourself for the sake of what you are seeing either on social media or within the street. Because guess what? Many of us today don't know that we are doing better. Let me be realistic with you. Don't hate me for saying this. And even if you hate me, it won't change nothing. Don't just dislike whom you are or the life that God have given you freely for the sake of the fact that you are seeing people living fake life. Because many people today are faking it until they make it. But guess what? It is better you live it real until you make it. I have a lot of my friends who used to tell me a word. Samson, why is it that you don't buy marker? You don't buy new cloth. You don't buy expensive cloth. People will just come and dash you cloth. You will collect. All these Italian people, they will just come and drop cloth in our damot. You will just select and you will just take it. I look at it and say, wow, all glory be to God that I have people who dash us clothes, who bring it, and may God keep blessing them more abundantly because they have already make it real. They have already make it to the point where they are now giving out that which they don't need again. Some of my friends will say, I don't like to wear, I don't want people to dash me clothes. I don't want it. I'm working. I need to buy marker. I need to look good. I said, I was not brought up by a wealthy parents. So I don't know what it ought to be wealthy right now because I have not arrived there. So when I get there, I will ask people who are there how they do it. Because I don't want to fake it to look like I have made it when I know I have not yet made it. Because let me tell you, choosers, the world we are living today, the reason why a lot of people are not becoming successful is simply because of the fact that majority of us are trying to fake it until we make it. And the truth is this. If you have not arrived, don't disappoint yourself. Don't just be like you will be there. If you have not arrived there, you will know you have not arrived there, and you can never arrive where you have not arrived. You are not there simply means you are not there. You cannot be there when you are not qualified to be there. But if you fake to be there, cool. But remember, one day you will still come back to where you have left that you ought to be. You know what I'm saying? Because there was something that I saw yesterday. That was when I was in the city. So I went to go and deposit some certain things in my card. So while I was depositing it, I meet one of my friends. And I look at the car. The car was so amazing. And this car can cost a lot. Then I asked the woman, I said, wow, this is a lovely car. I love this. She said, no. I said, wow, your car is so amazing. I love it. She said, no, it's not our own. We just rented it. I become so silent. I said, wow, you rent a car like this and you risk to rent it. I mean, you risk to rent a car. Within myself, I didn't tell her, I just keep silent. Within myself, I said, you risk to rent a car like this. Imagine the kind of work you do. You just do work like only 3 months in a year. 3 months or 4 months. Because it's not up to 3 months in a year or 2 months. You gather the money and you are not going for vacation. You rent this amazing car. This car that worth millions of euros. You rent it. What if, for example, now you are passing by? We don't expect, we don't pray for something bad, but we have to use our C74 to know in order, because preservation is better than cure. So if eventually now you are driving, you have an accident, that means you will start to pay debt because you are now trying to fake to make it when you have not yet arrived to the place. Meanwhile, you have your own car that you can easily manage to go to the holiday. Look like whom you are, not looking like whom you are not. Because today, if some people see some people driving car, some of them will say, I love to be like this person. Like what? Like a story that my mom told my dad told me. That happened in a long time, in the time of my grandfathers. He said they were passing by like this, coming back from work. A lady drive a very massive car. And many of them were saying, oh, God, give me this car. I need this type of car. Immediately, the woman heard them, and the woman came down and said, can you give me one of your sons and collect my car? They were shocked. They said, why? They said, I have all these things, but I don't have what? Children. I don't have people who spoil my home. I don't have people who I play with. So what am I trying to say is this: whatsoever God give you, protect it. Don't try to fake whom you are not. Don't try to be anxious because you see people living their life. Yes, there are people who make it. You know, there was one of my boss that I love the most. So when I meet this my boss, I work, I did not work too much with the man. So when I meet this man, the first time, I was just like, this kind of man have all these things, but he don't dress like someone that have money. So one of his friends tell me a word. I asked one of his friends, I said, why is it that this man in my former place, I said, why is it that this man have all this money, but he don't dress like this? He said, this is how he is. And I asked the man, because I'm that kind of person who is, I'm bold to ask people questions. I asked the man, I said, you have money, but you're supposed to, he said something. It's not about you looking good that matter. It's about the joy you have in being where you are. Not trying to oppress people or trying to make yourself look like you are God, but you having that joy of what you put on. Then I look at it, I say, wow, this is good. These are the kind of people we have to do or to copy. The kind of people, you see the way the person is, the master is humble, kind, nice, and despite of that, he embraced everybody. Then I look at my life. I look within my life. I say, these are the kind of man that I ought to imitate. These are the kind of men I ought to associate with. Because let me tell you, try to fake it until you make it will bring disaster to the point where you will go back to where you ought to start to make it. Because that's why you see a lot of people said, I made it before. I have money before. I was rich before. I was successful before. But what standard do you give that your success? What standard do you give it? Because yes, witchcraft is real. Witches and wizards are real. But you have to understand that it is necessary for us to understand that faking to make it is very, very dangerous. Faking to be successful is very, very dangerous, because majority of us today are trying to fake it, are trying to impress people, are trying to make people feel good. People who don't even care about you, people who don't even know whether you exist, people who don't even know whether you are living. You are trying to impress them. You are trying to make them look good. You are trying to make them, like you. Who give a damn? Well, that is what one of my friends told me when I was in school. He says, you have to dress well so that people will like you. I said, I love myself. So whoever that don't like me the way I dress, that is their own business. Because the truth is that majority of us today, the reason why we are where we are today is because of the fact that we have this, we have this mentality that it is good to fake to make it. It is good to fake to make it, which is not good. So don't be yourself, brothers. If you are able to pay your bill, afford your necessary stuff, do whatsoever you know. You have money, you feed yourself every day, you are able to pay your bill. Whoever that is better than you, tell them congratulations. Greet them. Bless the God